Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back from my existing subscribers. I want to talk about why my Cyberpunk 2077 experience might be different from other people's. For me, I've had a couple of bugs, I've had a couple of glitches, but overall, it has not been as bad as some people, especially if you have an Xbox OG or you have a PS4 version. When I looked at the Digital Foundry video, I was floored. I couldn't believe that the actual PS4 was running at like 900p. This console's always run games at 1080p, right? Maybe in the very beginning, like at the very beginning back in 2014, they were running some games at like 900p where the Xbox was running at 720p. So that was like in the very beginning when the consoles first came out. None of the games were optimized. They were just being ported over, right? So maybe that's the case with this one, but it was insane to see like the games were dipping into like the 720p's, and I'd never seen that before. And on top of that, with this extremely low resolution, they're getting really low frame rates. So hopefully CD Projekt Red fixes that. I still like them as a developer. I kind of feel like they did something shady as far as not letting people review the console version. They knew the game was broken, and it's this catch-22, man. For me, the PC version is running fine. I have a RTX 2080 with or not 2080, 3080, and then on the 2080 Ti, when I ran some tests on that, both benchmarks are live on the channel, by the way. I feel like the 2080 Ti, it was smooth, even though the frame rate wasn't really that high. It was around like 45 to like 69. It was around that range, right? Depending on where in the city I was or what was going on. But overall, it was pretty good. And that's with RTX and Ultra settings. So if I scaled anything back, I'd be able to hit 60 FPS easily. With the 3080, you're pretty much sitting between 60 and 80 FPS with everything maxed out. And that's pretty good too. So to me, like I said, it just runs really smooth. But the hardware that I'm running is significantly more powerful. Like it's not even the same universe as the OG consoles, right? So it's unfortunate that they couldn't even get it to be at a stable 30 FPS. And the new consoles, though, they show some promise. I just don't know what's going to happen when they release. First of all, if you got a PS5 or a Series X, kudos to you, because they were hard to get. But I don't see how they're going to release the higher resolution textures for the newer quality mode. I know the Xbox Series X already supports that quality mode for the last generation. So it's running in back compat mode. Same with the PS5. PS5 is just running pretty much 60 FPS in performance mode from the last generation of the game as well. And to me, like I said, I feel like how are they going to make it work? Or is it still going to be 60 FPS when they switch everything over to the new textures? Or is it going to dip down to like 30 FPS is going to be performance mode and like, lower resolution? Or you can do quality mode, kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn did, where like it would be just on a PS4 Pro, it would be just over 30 FPS sometimes. And then other times it would be just underneath if you had the quality mode on. So it was like one of those things where, I don't know, it's going to be interesting. But right now, both consoles are running it between 50 and 60 FPS, and I think that's really good. I think that's a good gaming experience, especially for me. Like 90 is what I shoot for whenever I'm looking at a story game. So as long as I can crank up the settings, be around 90 FPS, to me that's a good experience. 60 is still smooth, right? 60 isn't bad. But for me, like it starts to feel like, okay, I have a 144 hertz monitor, so I start to feel, I don't know, it's probably placebo effect, but I feel smoother when it's at 90 and above, if that makes any sense. But yeah, my experience, like I said, has been good. There's been a couple bugs. I've seen some hilarious bugs. There's been I will agree that this game was undercooked. But yeah, let me catch my thought I had earlier. When I was talking about the catch-22, you have people that were pissed that the game got delayed, right? And then at the same time, you have people that were like, yo, it doesn't matter, just release the game when you're ready. So the catch-22 is you release the game because so many people were mad, and then you made a promise at CD Projekt Red that you're not going to delay the game again. So you bring out this undercooked project. It's underwhelming to some. Some people don't even care. It's just a fantastic game. To me, the game feels alive. Like the game feels like everything is going the way it should be, as if it was in the real world, and you're just a part of this world, right? But you get things that happen. Like I have seen the T-pose out of the car where the character V will actually come up from the roof of the car. I haven't seen the one where V's pantless, which I heard was hilarious, but I haven't seen that. I've only ever seen the T-pose once. I'm like 10 hours in, and it's just one of those things that I feel like it was a lot of pressure to release the game, and now that the game is out, some of those same exact people that were saying hurry up and just drop it, we'll play it how it is, are also some of the same people that are saying like, yo, you should have cooked this game a little bit longer. And it just reminds me of Call of Duty. Speed the game down, or speed the game up, slow the game down, make the streaks more powerful, make the streaks less powerful. It's more of the same, right? So you can't really appeal to everybody and appease everyone at the same time. They did what they could, right? This game definitely needs some more work. Hopefully they get the patches. They've promised the console players that they'll have a playable experience by January, February at the latest. So for those that don't do the return process, which is a whole nother story, but they're offering returns for those customers. I forget the link. It was, let me see. I actually had it written down here. Either way, I'll write it in the comment section. There's actually a link that you can go to return your game. I think it's like help me refund CD Projekt Red or something like that. But you can actually go and request a refund from them. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. Like I said, my experience, you would hear some people talk about it and think that the game is like straight up broken, like it doesn't work at all. But it's not the case, especially if you're on a powerful PC. The game actually works pretty well most of the time. The driving straight up sucks. With controller, like the driving is just too heavy. Like the cars, like I feel like they just like slide to a stop, you know. And if you hit something, then it doesn't. For as heavy as your car drives, when you hit something, it doesn't have that same effect. Like it looks like a bumper car when you hit something. It just like flies away. But when you're trying to stop or turn, it's crazy. But the gunplay is surprisingly pretty good. I prefer to use mouse and keyboard, but with controller, you could aim out, aim back in, and that was pretty smooth, and it was pretty accurate to me. And yeah, that's my take, man. If you're thinking about getting this game and you got a next gen console or you got PC, go for it, rock out. But if you have a PS4 or you have a traditional Xbox, this is something that you might want to wait for if you didn't already buy it, because you're just gonna be in for a headache. But that's all I got. You guys be easy. I'll catch you in the next video. Yep, I'm out.